She likes you, but she believes you do not like her back. She makes an opening, then hides it. She comes closer, then gives herself an excuse. You read that as fading interest. But attraction does not always disappear when a woman expects rejection. Sometimes it puts on armor. Here are 8 things she does when she wants you but thinks you do not want her. 1. She stops initiating but becomes very easy to reach. At first, she started the little conversations. She asked what you were doing after work or sent you toward a topic she knew would keep you talking. Then she decided you were not returning the interest. The initiation stops. But when you start the conversation yourself, she is immediately present. The short answer you expected becomes a real one. She stays engaged. The warmth is still there. The risk-taking is not. That difference matters. A woman who lost interest usually removes energy from the interaction itself. A woman who still wants you but expects rejection may remove only the part where she has to expose herself first. She did not stop wanting the conversation. She stopped volunteering to be the one who could be turned down. 2. She rejects herself before you get the chance. You're talking about a restaurant and she jokes, "That sounds like a date place. Not that you would take me there." Then she laughs and moves on. That little self-rejection is easy to mistake for humor. But listen to the structure. She introduced the two of you inside a romantic frame and then removed herself before you had to respond. If she were indifferent, she could have talked about the restaurant without putting herself in the sentence at all. The joke lets her test how the idea feels in the air while keeping ownership of the rejection. If nothing comes back, she can pretend she never asked for anything. She is not laughing because the idea is impossible. She is making the possibility survivable. 3. She hides an invitation inside a group plan. She wants to see you this weekend, but asking you directly now feels too revealing. So instead of saying, "Do you want to get coffee?" she says, "A few of us might go out Saturday. You can come if you want. Maybe the group is real." That is not the interesting part. Listen to how carefully the invitation protects her. If you say no, she did not ask you on a date. If you say yes, she still gets the thing she actually wanted, more time around you. Women do this when we want an answer without forcing the moment to become a referendum on whether you want us back. The group is not always the destination. Sometimes it is emotional insurance. 4. She uses friendship language more than the friendship requires. You make her laugh, the moment hangs for half a beat, and she says, "You are such a good friend." Nothing was wrong with the word until you noticed how often it appears right after something that did not feel especially friendly. This can sound like a clear rejection. Sometimes it is. But when the word arrives defensively, it does a different job. She is naming the safest category before the more dangerous one can become visible. If she already believes you do not want her, calling you a friend lets her keep the closeness without admitting that she wanted another label. The word is not always closing a door. Sometimes she is standing behind the door, convincing herself she never meant to open it. The first 4 all protect her from being the obvious one. The next signs reveal the contradiction more clearly. Even while she protects herself, she keeps leaving small ways for the possibility to survive. 5. She downplays the effort she made to be there. You mention that you will be at a certain place after work. Later, she appears. Before you can make anything of it, she explains, "I was already nearby," or "I needed to pick something up here anyway." Maybe she did. But notice how quickly the explanation arrives. When a woman thinks her interest is not returned, effort becomes embarrassing. She does not want you imagining she changed a plan, walked farther, or rearranged anything just to see you. So she removes the romantic meaning before you can assign it. She is not telling you why she came. She is telling you why you should not think she came for you. 6. She asks about your preferences through someone who is not her. You're watching a show and she asks, "Would you ever date someone that different from you?" Or a friend mentions a woman with a strong personality and she asks, Is that your type? Notice the distance. She is not asking, could you want me? She is collecting pieces of the answer from safer subjects. When a woman thinks she may not be your type, direct questions feel expensive. Hypotheticals are cheaper. She can learn whether age matters to you, whether you like someone outgoing or quiet, or whether a certain lifestyle would bother you without placing herself on the examination table. The conversation appears to be about somebody else. The comparison happening in her head is much closer to home. 7. Every retreat leaves one small door unlocked. She cannot make Friday. An indifferent woman says, can't make it. Sorry. She says, I can't Friday, but next week should be easier. She ends a personal conversation because she has to leave, then adds, tell me the rest later. She turns down one plan but names another window without being asked. That is the contradiction. Her fear tells her to protect herself. Her attraction keeps refusing to make the protection permanent. She does not throw the door open. She leaves just enough unlocked that the connection does not have to die. When a woman has truly moved on, she does not need to preserve a future version of the moment. When she still wants you, even the retreat often contains a return address. That future opening is what separates a protected feeling from a finished one. She may reduce the risk, but she keeps giving the connection somewhere to continue. 8. Relief appears the moment she realizes she may have read you wrong. This is the clearest one because the whole pattern changes at once. You say something personal that makes your interest difficult for her to explain away. Maybe you admit that you had been hoping she would come. Maybe she discovers that the woman she assumed you were dating is your sister. Watch what happens to the armor. Her face softens. The careful explanations disappear. The joke stops protecting every sentence. She may even say, wait, I thought you weren't interested. That line rearranges everything that came before it. The distance was not empty. The group invitation was not casual. The self-rejecting joke was not proof that she had no interest. She was behaving like a woman who wanted you while trying to survive the possibility that wanting you was one-sided. That is why this pattern feels so confusing from the outside. Attraction and self-protection can point in opposite directions at the same time. She wants contact, then reduces risk. She creates a possibility, then gives it a harmless name. She steps back, but keeps a future opening alive. If several of these keep appearing together, the contradiction may be the clue. She did not stop feeling something. She stopped believing it was safe to be the only one showing it. If you have reached this far, type armor down in the comments. Don't explain what it means. Let's keep it between those who made it to the end.